Ludwig probably one of the biggest streamers to come out of Twitch recently, and probably one of the biggest YouTubers right now. If you ask, at least 1 out of 10 people have probably at least heard of Ludwig or know his very recognizable face. I personally am a pretty decent fan of Ludwig. I like his content. What I found out recently is a lot of people fucking hate him. Like a lot of people fucking hate him. To me, as a big Ludwig fan, it's kind of confusing. It confuses me a little bit. So for this video, we're gonna do one of my favorite series on this channel, Why Everyone Hates, where I break down why people hate specific influencers or creators, and we talk about it, we break it down, and we see if it makes sense or not. So let's get into who Ludwig is, because he's kind of a very non-complicated character. Ludwig is a massive streamer slash YouTuber who came up before and during the pandemic. His rise came from something that wasn't really done that well up until this point, which was he made content on Twitch that was made directly to be put on YouTube. Usually if streamers would upload their videos on YouTube, it would be more of highlights, but Ludwig's streaming content was direct video ideas for the YouTube, and they were edited like normal YouTube videos, just done live, which mixed with his creative ideas and his charisma and just his absolute humor made for some interesting experiences because it was live. He also got his start in the Melee community, so along with during COVID, the rise of Melee and esports in general, he rode that wave, and now he is where he is today. He's a huge fucking streamer and YouTuber. He's gotten multi-deals on different platforms to stream on, and he's pretty fucking rich. So before we get into it, I'm gonna lay out the chapters real quick, because while thinking about this, there's really only 3 categories of things that people hate him on. 1, his personality, just who he is. 2, his channel, Mogul Mail. And 3, the recent stuff that happened this past week. So why do people hate Ludwig as a guy, as a dude? Well, a lot of people dislike Ludwig as a guy and his persona on YouTube and Twitch because he comes across kind of snaky. What I mean is Ludwig is a huge PR guy. He cares a lot about his public image, and he cares a lot about keeping up on what's happening with the people he surrounds himself with. And he has a history of when someone gets canceled or exposed, or someone that he's done videos with or content with in the past, to kind of just drop them instantly. And it's not really just dropping them. I think that's kind of fine for the most part. If someone's doing something bad, you want to distance yourself. I think that's fair. It's more of dropping them and then starting making fun of them and start acting like they're in on the joke. Not like they were standing by their side and they were supporting them and friends with them the whole time.
I actually think what Cody Ko did was weird.
No, I agree with
Nobody thinks that what Cody Ko did wasn't weird. Nah, but for real.
he means it though. He means it though.
No, I mean,
no, because y'all think it, but I say it.
no.
There's been so many people during his rise, and even when he was at his peak relevance, that he collaborated with that later turned out to be bad people, or even had false allegations made against him, and he kind of just dropped them really fast. You can see this repeatedly in the content that he makes and used to make, and it's kind of weird looking back. People like Callmecarson, Cody Ko, even Mr. Beast when he had that drama, it is kind of strange to see now. Mr. Beast specifically is an interesting one for me personally, watching his content, because Ludwig made a vow during all the Mr. Beast drama to not be in any of his videos, and he would often make jokes, make fun of him, call him a little freak during the height of the drama. But as it settled down and kind of got sorted out, I guess, as it kind of died down in relevance, he started watching Mr. Beast videos again and started talking about how cool he was on his podcast, The Yard. I don't know, to me it's a little weird, but we can get more into that. Along with that, Ludwig is also kind of willing to do whatever for the sake of PR. Like, there's a few examples like used for the Mogul Mail section, but one specifically that doesn't really involve that was his speedrunning streamer event that had got a lot of controversy because there weren't a lot of people of color or women in the original lineup, especially women. And Ludwig responded to this, basically saying that yes, there's not a lot, but also there's not a lot of people of color or women in the speedrunning categories, but he did understand and realize that a lot of people invited weren't even speedrunners to begin with, and he'll try to be better and invite more people of color and more women. And at the time of him getting a lot of criticism, the full roster wasn't even out yet.
But I just assumed that based off my track record and the events I'd done in the past, that I would have like the good grace in like that little bit of charitability that, oh yeah, Ludwig probably isn't just going to do an event full of dudes and only his friends and not invite any of the people he tweeted out and replied to it. Like, I assumed I would have that good grace. And maybe I was wrong to think that.
And even with that, he made a pretty good point in his video addressing all the drama, where he basically said that the event really wasn't a speedrunner only event like games done quick. It was more for people that he's friends with and streamers that he's friends with and speedrunners to do a charity event around speedrunning, which kind of sounds like the same thing, but it is not. I swear.
Again, I'm not trying to be a rival with anyone. I'm just trying to be the guy that I am, making something that I think is cool with the resources that I have. both monetarily and like, you know, the friends, the contacts, the connections, because it is not as possible for another speedrunning charity event to get like the creators involved as it is for me. In the same way that I can't get all the world's best runners in a room together plus 3,000 people.
But essentially, a lot of people were giving him pushback on this for being so willing to bend the knee to this audience and allow to be bullied at his own event about not inviting the right type of people, as some people were saying. Now, I have my own opinions on this, and I will explain it at the end, but it's kind of the first chapter of this video. A lot of people strongly dislike his character and how willing he is to do whatever to try to be this edgy persona who says a lot of crazy things, but also is willing to bend the knee to keep his PR and to keep himself afloat. The last example I really have for this, and a good transition from this section to the one on Mogul Mail, which is a lot bigger of a section, is his video talking about think before you sleep. Now, think before you sleep is kind of more of a anti-woke, anti-SJW type channel. At least that's what he comes across to me. He preaches a lot of intellectual values, and in my opinion, I fucking hate him. I think his content is so lazy and very poorly researched. Ludwig did a video on think before you sleep's video, why there's not a lot of esports professionals that are women. And the reason why this got on Ludwig's radar is because another streamer and pro Apex Legends player, It's Timmy, made a few tweets talking about it because he said that a lot of the points he made and a lot of things he said got taken out of context. And Ludwig did a full video on think before you sleep's video, kind of trying to dismantle it and shit talk it. And it wasn't just Ludwig, it was people like Hassan and various other streamers who talked about this video and talked shit about it. So think before you sleep did a response video to all of them, which in my opinion was kind of bad. But a lot of people in his comments agreed that Ludwig is kind of a rat snake. Now there's a lot of issue with think before you sleep's video responding to Ludwig and all the other streamers, but I'll summarize my thoughts real quick because this is such a minor point that I'm probably not going to come back to. By saying that think before you sleep has taken a lot of stuff out of context out of Ludwig's video and painted it to make Ludwig and all these other streamers especially look as stupid and as bad as possible. And anytime that think before you sleep got anything wrong, his excuse was, well, you have a full team of people to research. I don't. I'm just a single guy, which is stupid as shit.
Understand that Ludwig has a staff to help him with this kind of stuff or save him time in other areas.
I can't do that now because I have 15 employees.
Outside of the guy who makes my thumbnails, I don't have a staff. I do all of this by myself, which means I only have so much time before people start saying, oh my god, where's the next video? You take forever. So I have to use certain time-saving techniques.
This point was specifically referring to how Ludwig brought up that one of the studies that Think Before You Sleep used was in 2014, so kind of an older study. And in my opinion, it's always best to use the most recent and current studies when you're trying to make an argument. But his defense and his reasoning just sounds so whiny and annoying. And you can flip that logic every single way. The clip of Ludwig talking about his staff does not revolve around Mogul Mail. Why the fuck would he have 15 people for staff on his fucking drama channel? And even if Think Before You Sleep means that he has 15 people in his staff, so he doesn't have a lot to do in terms of his company, so he has more time to research things like this, he really doesn't. The Mogul Mail channel is something that he used to do for fun and to give his opinion on things. I don't think he really gave a fuck about it, and that's why he doesn't do it anymore. I don't have a full team of people, but it's not that hard to do a quick Google search. He has staff and he has people to help him with videos, but Mogul Mail is not one of those channels that really gets people to help him with. He rarely even has an editor. He tries to do everything in one fell swoop. And even if he had a full team of people to help him research, you have enough subscribers and you make enough money to probably hire at least someone to help research if you're fucking up this badly. Also, regardless of any of that, none of that is an excuse to get things wrong. If you get something wrong in a video or you get some information wrong, you are deserved the criticism, whether or not it was malicious or not. But if you don't trust my opinion, watch those videos for yourself and come back with your own conclusion. Please and thank you. I would love the engagement. Now, okay, if you've gotten to this point and you don't know what Mogul Mail is, I'm sure this video is fucking confusing. Mogul Mail is Ludwig's side channel that he used to operate. They used to do a lot of drama content. Originally, it was supposed to be a place where he would give advice and just talk about things he was interested in, especially when he made the switch from Twitch to YouTube. It was supposed to be the place where he uploaded his videos and did his live streams, but he decided to keep that on his main channel. So this eventually just became a daily drama channel. And his claim to fame on this channel was doing everything in one take and setting up everything and doing it live for the video, not on live stream. But if you don't know, it is a huge channel full of controversies. Constantly Ludwig getting criticized for getting things wrong or doing things poorly or just everything in between. And I could go video by video criticizing every little thing that he's done, but in my opinion, there's no real point because he doesn't even make videos on that channel anymore. And that's really because of one huge controversy that he had where he did a video on Hasanabi, his close and personal friend who had a very scandalous Twitch clip come out of him talking about how he believes that Twitch streaming is harder than working a 9 to 5. And if you don't know who Hassan is, he's a massive political streamer on Twitch and he's extremely controversial. So Ludwig even associating with Hassan is going to get him some kind of haters one way or another. color. Now, Ludwig did a video on this, kind of poking fun at it and giving his side and his opinion. And Hassan was not happy about this, so Ludwig decided to change the thumbnail and then later delete the video. And he decided that the sponsor for that video wasn't happy with the performance, but a lot of people believe they deleted it because Hassan wasn't very happy with the video in itself. While this was a big reason for him to slowly stop wanting to do drama content and kind of do anything with the Mogul Mail channel, this wasn't the whole reason, but it was kind of a big one. Another reason was because of the issues with Mr. Beast. If you aren't aware, Ludwig and Mr. Beast at some point were close personal friends in a creator space and also in a personal way. And Ludwig got a lot of shit for not doing a video criticizing him or speaking out about Ava Chris Tyson. And I think these two situations kind of compounded in his want to depart from drama content. I'm going to talk about this further, but I kind of respect that choice somewhat. You'll see. Ludwig isn't very good at this drama content, which is really funny to me because he was a journalism major at ASU. It is ASU, so I guess it doesn't mean much. And I'm sorry, I know I keep saying this, but we really will cover all this in the analysis of the controversies. So for right now, just keep that in mind. Now, let's go to the final chapter, talking about the recent controversies. But what is this recent controversy that I'm talking about? Ludwig is known for doing a bunch of big events with a company called Mogul Moves. Mogul Moves is more of a company for Ludwig, but it does do a lot of things helping streamers promote and create events or set up podcasts or anything in between. It's like a Twitch production company. But in his most recent event, his Mario Kart 2 event, which is Mario Kart but you drink beer, he invited one of his friends who has been in a bunch of events, Mang0, one of, if not the best Smash Melee players of all time. He's a fucking huge streamer, huge creator, and huge competitor in Smash Melee. So Ludwig invited Mang0, who is known for being able to drink a lot. And in this event, Mang0 got very intoxicated to the point where he was making a lot of the people uncomfortable. There's clips of him humping the area behind a bunch of women who were there and making them very uncomfortable. And a lot of people have chalked this up to sexual harassment. And from this, Mang0 has gotten banned from all future Ludwig events. He got dropped from his esports organization. And if I'm not mistaken, he also got banned or suspended from Melee events, or it's likely that he's going to. Also, this happened while I was making the video. He also got banned and then unbanned from Twitch. So yeah. And if you watch the clips, they are fucking rough. You can tell genuinely how uncomfortable these women are and how just kind of got downplayed in the moment. And a lot of people have found clips from the event where Ludwig is kind of promoting Mang0 to drink this much. When Valkyrae and Cinna and a bunch of other of the women creators at the event came to Ludwig and said, "Hey, do you think he's okay? This seems like kind of a problem." He started bragging about how much Mang0 can drink and he's perfectly fine, dude. He's fucking chill.
Mang0 is like an alcoholic. Mang0 can drink 30 beers and act the same he does off no beers. He's a machine of a man.
He said he had 7 beers already today.
If you ask him how many beers he's had lifetime, it's probably above 10,000.
Is this event enabling him?
He's a 2-time champion. He's never lost.
And one of the worst clips I've seen is Ludwig bragging to everyone at the event about how drunk Mang0 is on a breathalyzer, having 0.32% alcohol blood content, which is 3 times the legal amount you're supposed to have.
Hey everybody! Mang0 just blew a .32!
Now these breathalyzers for streams aren't accurate at all, but still, even if it was half that, it's still fucking terrible. Especially after people coming to you concerned about Mang0 and concerned for the people's well-being. And like a lot of people have pointed out, it seems like Ludwig is kind of just shifting blame to Mang0 and not willing to take any criticism for himself. He has apologized. He has apologized to the people who were uncomfortable or that he believes could have been made uncomfortable. But as a lot of people claim, it feels a little performative. And I'm not trying to shift the blame from Mang0 to Ludwig. Mang0 is completely in the wrong. But Mang0 is known for being a severe alcoholic. Besides being a great Melee player, that was his #1 joke in Melee. I'm like vaguely associated to the Smash scene. I know a few things. I've played in a few tournaments, and that guy is known for being a severe alcoholic. You cannot go to a Smash event with Mang0 there and he's not drunk. It happens all the fucking time. He has lost multiple tournaments because he is drunk. I can understand Mang0 being your friend and not assuming it's as bad as it is, especially with Mang0 saying that he's fine. But also, as an event lead and a person who's hosting these events, you have to be accountable for the people that you invite. But let's kind of break down all the points that I've talked about earlier and see if they really hold true. Now, I'm going to break my opinions down into 2 parts. One, the Mang0 situation, everything that happened during that live stream and the following weeks. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings towards the Mang0 situation, and it honestly quite upsets me. I have a full laundry list of issues. It's going to take a good portion of the video. But as for everything else that people have issues with Ludwig for, I can kind of sum summarize my thoughts on that. Fairly simple. Now, Ludwig is a very interesting creator to me just in general because of a lot of things. He's one of the first creators I think that I watched who, at a specific time, very genuine. It never really felt like he was hiding anything. Never felt like he was trying to pull a fast one on his audience or do anything just for the sake of keeping good publicity. And if he did, he would be very obvious and very apparent about it. He's a very transparent creator. But as the years have progressed and he's gotten companies and he's got employees and he's risen the ranks, that facade is kind of faded. I was talking to some of my friends recently about it because we all at some point would watch him. And we kind of came to the conclusion that where Ludwig is now, he's kind of complicit. He doesn't really have to do much anymore to try to gain more relevance or more audience attention or more favor. He kind of just has to coast until he retires. And I say all this to kind of give the point that the Ludwig now is not the Ludwig that I used to watch during COVID. The Ludwig that we're watching now is someone who kind of has strayed away and stopped caring as much about the grind and making something better than himself. I could be acting insanely parasocial, but that Ludwig that I would watch during COVID was super interested in making the best kind of content he could and being a good influence and role model. But the Ludwig now really just cares about keeping his PR afloat and staying out of the limelight as much as possible while also doing and saying whatever he wants as much as possible. There are a lot of things that I personally have issue with Ludwig for. I do think the way he handles certain situations in terms of controversies are really fucking weird. I dislike and highly don't appreciate the way he handles things like that, especially with people who actually have done harm. Like, you can't actively promote and support someone for years, and then as soon as they get a little bit of criticism, completely dip until it's safe again. Like with Mr. Beast, he completely ignored him until it was safe to react to his content and somewhat promote him again. But people like Callmecarson and Cody Ko, I don't think will ever be safe to associate yourself with, so they're kind of just stuck in this limbo. But personally, my biggest issue with Ludwig is the Mogul Mail channel. Not really the channel itself. I was actually a big fan of Mogul Mail. I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was very entertaining. I liked seeing his points, but the biggest issue with Mogul Mail is that mantra of doing it in one take, where he tries to do everything in one take, and it doesn't really give him time to slowly try to build a case or try to really understand what's happening. It's the same issue that someone like Moist Critical has, or Pyrocynical. And if I'm being honest, I think this mantra is part of the reason why he gets so much criticism and so much criticism about getting things wrong. Because when you do it live, and especially with not a lot of research or not a lot of time to prep, you will obviously get things wrong. That's kind of bound to happen. And Ludwig stopped doing this channel because he hated drama. He hated how it affected him. And honestly, I feel like some part of him kind of did not like constantly getting criticized for getting things wrong. That's bound to happen. But recently, he has started a new channel called Ludwin, where he just does the exact same thing he does on Mogul Mail, except it's live. Ludwin is his channel where he posts stream highlights, but most of these highlights consist of him talking about drama on stream with less research than he has while doing Mogul Mail. And he posts them as videos talking about the situations. So it's exactly like Mogul Mail, but instead of doing even a little bit of research, it is completely off the cuff. It is all just improv. He will literally watch a video and then come to conclusions before even finishing the video. He will make his conclusions and make his statements mid-video. It is so harmful, especially during serious situations, that it is such an insane negligence on his part from someone who has a fucking journalism degree. One thing I will give Ludwig credit for is that the people he is friends with and the people that he does associate with, it feels like he's actually friends with. Not the people that he's willing to drop as soon as there's any controversy, but people like Hassan and the other streamers that he does events with, it feels like he is friends with them for the most part. So when he does something that he feels like genuinely hurt his friends' feelings, he's willing to go back on it because most of the time, if you ask any normal person, friendship and caring about the people you love is a bit more important than having some internet clout points. Now I'm going to address this same kind of philosophy, but with Mang0 because it's not very important, and I think it would be good before some people who are watching this take that and run with it. I think the difference between someone like Mang0, Hassan, and Cody Ko is that Ludwig didn't feel like he was genuinely friends with someone like Cody Ko or Callmecarson, and so it wasn't a big deal to drop him. But with Hassan, he feels like he's genuinely friends with him, so he has to stick by him, no matter how much controversy he's in. Similar to someone like H-Rock, who Ludwig still interacts with and collabs with, no matter how much controversy he gets in, especially when it's revolving around him. But with Mang0, he decided not to drop him, but he's kind of throwing him under the bus purely because the whole issue came from Ludwig's event, so he feels a need to overcorrect himself and completely ostracize him, which We'll talk about later on. Now, Ludwig responded to all the stuff with Mang0, basically saying that he talked to Mang0. Mang0 asked him not to talk about the situation anymore, and to basically say that all drama channels that are covering this are fucking stupid and just a waste of time and just stupid and ugly in their fucking green hat and their fucking blue hoodie, all just a piece of shit. And at the end, he said, my only goal is to help everyone around me prosper and to take care of them and not really worry about what people think of me. So I won't be responding anymore.
Now, I did talk to Mang0, actually. I talked to Mang0. He reached out. We talked a bit. And I have some thoughts and opinions that I thought about speaking, but he asked of me to not speak on it. And I think that's a fair request. He said, I want to take it on the chin. I think the drama is dying out. He's spending time with his kid. He started day one of not drinking yesterday, which is dope. And like, I think genuinely there's a perception of Mang0 that people have in their mind, but they don't actually care about him. I don't think they'll be in his stream when he's back to streaming in a month or whenever it is. Because I am still friends with him. And I banned him from my events because I felt I had to, because my girlfriend and my girlfriend's best friend Maya are in my room at 2 a.m. telling me that they felt really uncomfortable at my own event. I think a lot of people want me to take accountability. I think I said my piece on it, and I think if people don't fuck with me, that's totally chill. And if anyone in here don't fuck with me, I think that's totally chill. I actually don't mind that. I think my responsibility is to just like fucking keep trudging through life because the world keeps spinning and it doesn't stop. And like deal with Mang0 in a personal way, but it doesn't need to be public, especially if that's his desire, right? Especially if that's what he asks. So anyway, that's basically it. And that is what it is, bro. And I actually genuinely have no ill will towards any drama channel who makes videos. Like, I think it is a hustle. It is a career that they have made. They speak on any drama for 20 minutes and they move on. I think the actual care about the things they talk about factor is very small. And I thought about, like, maybe I should make a mogul mail and address it all and talk about it. And then I was like, well, who am I doing this for? Ultimately, I'm doing it to change the opinion that other people have of me, as opposed to doing what I think is actually more important, which, you know, going through life, attempting to be better in different arenas. It doesn't matter if people think I'm doing better. It matters if I think I'm doing better and the people around me think I'm doing better. I don't need to change people's minds and whatnot. That is like a purely selfish endeavor to be viewed upon more favorably, but who cares about being viewed upon more favorably? We all get buried under the dirt at the end of the day, and I think we should just do our best to help the people around us as we go through our lives.
Which is a really funny response to me, because the entire situation why Ludwig is in trouble right now is because he didn't take care of the people around him. He didn't take care of any of the women that were at the event. He didn't take care of Mang0. He barely even took care of himself by putting himself in that situation. All he really took care of was the fucking content. Now, my biggest issue with Ludwig is, again, Mang0 is known for being an extreme alcoholic. And I don't want to pass judgment on someone that I don't know and make claims that they are X thing or Y thing, but Mang0 is obviously an alcoholic. There's been threads for years on Smash forums and made by Smash creators or Smash players talking about how Mang0 might be a problem, might be a little dangerous because he drinks too much. Literally on Ludwig's podcast where they have Mang0, they talk about him drinking a lot. On the podcast where they talk about Mang0 hanging out with the Cold Ones crew, they talk about how much they drink, especially compared to fucking Chad. Anything for views. All he does is fucking drink. That guy has a problem.
Preemptively put up like a cartoon poster, wanted poster at the front for Mang0.
That'd be really funny.
Do not serve this man.
And I have two thoughts on the whole Mang0 situation, his response, and mainly it's one, I think it's fair if Mang0 doesn't want anyone to talk about it. I think if people want to talk about it, it's completely fine. But I think if he doesn't feel comfortable with Ludwig talking about it and the people who are affected don't really care, that's fine. Who really cares? But my other problem is I hate Ludwig's smugness with this whole situation. Acting like everyone else is a fucking leech and a drama frog and just a fucking freak for being disinvested. Even though, hey, if you really cared, you would watch Mang0's stream when he comes back. You would be in there. You would DM him. You would make sure he's okay. But because you're not doing that, you don't care. So you shouldn't even make a video to begin with, you fucking loser. But he is the most in the wrong person besides Mang0. Mang0 has had a problem for so long, and it's just weird to me. And I understand where Ludwig is coming from by trying to avoid it. And it's been 3 weeks since this happened. People stopped caring. But the problem I have is with him feeling like he can get over this and feeling like he doesn't have to really do much. He feels like he doesn't really have to take much criticism. And it's just super fucking annoying to me. But beyond that, I do think a lot of people have fair criticisms of him. He's not a perfect creator by any means, and there's a lot of people who strongly hate him. The two biggest ones are a guy named WestJett and Pegasus. And these people have made a bunch of videos and made a bunch of money and gotten a bunch of views from shitting on Ludwig. And so while yes, there are a lot of issues, and I believe that they believe that there's a lot of issues, I can't help but feel like they only still hate Ludwig and still talk shit about Ludwig because it gets some views and they feel like that's the only way to keep their channel relevant. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But it's basically these guys' full-time job to kind of shit on Ludwig, if I'm being honest. Like, keeping it a buck, these guys are probably Ludwig's biggest haters of all time. But speaking of WestJett, I talked to him about Ludwig, and I'll show you what he said. It's not really anything deep, but it was actually a very good conversation and helped illuminate some things about him and his relationship with Ludwig. So I'll show you guys that in a second. So I reached out to WestJett and I asked him why he dislikes Ludwig, and he gave me 3 main points. His 3 main points were he makes good videos, but drama isn't his forte. He's spineless about his biases, and he carries a lot of water for Hasan, but he does it in a way where it's morally grandstanding, where he is better than everyone else for defending Hasan, even when Hasan is kind of a fucking idiot. And to all those, I think they're kind of fair, if I'm being honest. So before the next clip, I just want to let you know that I kind of fucked up shaving, so I'm gonna look weird for the next part of this video. Please don't fucking comment on it. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. Don't make any comments about it. Don't talk about it. I want to be left alone. So after talking to WestJett, I decided that, to be fair, I should talk to someone who knows Ludwig, who likes Ludwig, who thinks Ludwig is a cool guy. So I reached out to my friend, The Veil, one of my good friends who does content on here on YouTube. You should check him out. His link will be in the description. He has a history of Ludwig. He did a few videos that Ludwig reacted to, got some popular clips from. So I decided to ask him his experience with Ludwig and what he's like, and if the things I've talked about early in this video kind of ring true at all. I'll show you that right now. So I'm going to run through my talk with The Veil. I asked him 5 questions, some of them more important than others. So yeah, some of them are going to go kind of fast. And before you ask, yes, I am very sick right now. So before you say anything about me being sick, I am sick. So the first one I asked him is if Ludwig is different in real life versus how he is online. And I feel like this one's important enough to say in its full effect. So without further ado, let me show you what The Veil said. He said, I feel like the perception of
Lud varies online widely depending on the day, but overall I think it's fairly positive. I do think he tries to give off an aura of like getting scammed and being dumb, and personality wise being just a little bit arrogant, but from my personal experiences with him, he was nothing but an A+ dude. When I made the video impersonating him, he messaged me over the next few months to do stuff with him. He followed me on Twitch and would pop in from time to time, and when I met him at TwitchCon, although the meeting was brief, he was very personable and kind.
Then I asked him 2 things: if the criticisms of Ludwig are realistic, or if Ludwig cares about PR above all. And he said, well, yes, some criticisms are fair of Ludwig. A lot of them are overblown and unnecessary. Similarly, Ludwig is someone who cares a lot about his PR and that aspect of the job, and he is aware of it, but it isn't the main thing he focuses on. He's more of a real person. Then I asked him about Ludwig and Hasan's relationship, and for this question, me and The Veil had similar answers. Basically that he's just a regular ass dude who just is there for his friends and don't really care what people think of him and his friendships. And then for the final question, I kind of just wanted him to summarize his overall thoughts on the criticism that Ludwig gets as someone who knows him. And I feel like this is very important to the whole thing, so I'll just play it in full.
I think Ludwig, at least from what I've seen, tends to handle the public opinion in regards to his personal movements very well. I think we live in a world where we have way too much access to people, and especially too much validation and cruelty disguised as criticism. But from the limited amount of experience I have had interacting with him, I think he's a genuine and kind person, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Maybe replying to this and contributing to this video is perpetuating that parasocialness or contributing to that drama, but if I can contribute anything, at least it's positive. He had an immensely positive impact on my life, and I will always be grateful. I feel getting me to read that soppy shit was absolutely diabolical. I could not disagree further.
So after seeing everything, what are my final thoughts? In these videos, I typically try to stay more unbiased than biased, but honestly, Ludwig has a lot of things wrong with him that he just won't address ever. I think the most interesting thing about Ludwig is he is able to be a normal person while still making content. He's still able to be a normal person and interact with his friends like a normal person while also being a content creator and caring about the small drama. The issue is he lets one or the other get in the way. He either cares too much or too little about what everyone thinks. Like things that he's objectively wrong in, hey, I'm just gonna step back, let people say whatever they want. It doesn't affect me, I don't really care. But when people aren't bringing him up in the conversation, like with Cody Ko, Callmecarson, and any of the other people that he disassociated with, then he is immediately the first one to speak out against it. It's a big deal. I have to talk about it. And that's kind of a problem to me. I don't really like that. But I want you guys to make your own conclusion. These videos, I try not to tell you what to think. I try not to let you guys be sheeple. So please, in the comments, tell me what you think of Ludwig and what you think of the video as a whole. I would appreciate that greatly. But I think it's gonna be it for me today. I appreciate you watching, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video to your friends. I'm at the time of recording this 150 subs away from 5K, so please, I am begging, please subscribe. So follow me on Twitter. I forgot to say this in the video. Fuck. And watch the next video and recommendation. It helps boost this video a lot. I appreciate you watching, and I think I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Breakfast with a bitch named Tiffany, Wrist gave me stink cause it's ivory, Got your mommy with me now, irony, trying to pipe my drain, just fake a cavity. What? I got my panties up, and you withdrew. I got my panties up, and you withdrew. I got my panties up, and you withdrew. I got my panties up, so I'm the center of attention, and I'm in your girl's mention. Might just have to pipe it really soft.